Assalamualaikum, this is Bitanur. From Group 17. I'm going to discuss the development of Islamic banking and finance in Tunisia. This is our group details, as you can see. For the introductions, I will say that Islamic finance market has one of the world's most productive field. It was started with Malaysia and the Gulf Cooperation Council in 1963 with 600 financial institutions. It has the Islamic studies on institution of growth and elegancy growth. For the background, we can see that in 1983 it was started the development with the establishment of Al Baraka Islamic Bank. Then it was more developed in 2008 Bank Al Noor, and 2010 Bank Zaitun was established. Then it enforced in 2019 when AITD fund was founded as the risky mutual fund. Then for the last step, as we can see that when it was it was the biggest Bahrain like financial who in 2011, and it enforced the Islamic finance system a little bit more further. Then the supportive of venture and improvement of in Phuket fleets, it will have 1,000 million of suku dinar in 2010. Then it was more established in the governing rules and regulation in 2015. And
Is Chongwan. My measure number is 1827017. Today I like to talk about why Tunisia should develop their Islamic financing and banking. The Tunisia government demonstrates great support for development of Islamic financing. The government wants experts for political mobilization and promotion. A better regulatory framework of Islamic financing must also be developed in order to meet the need for their alternative financing assets, says Fadi Hakura. Then in Tunisia, there is a good relationship between consumption and Islamic banking and financing. The people of Tunisia are becoming more famous every day. That's my explanation.
Finance challenge in Tunisia. The development of Islamic finance in Tunisia is still experiencing several significant challenges. This is evidenced by the revision of the current account deficit and a higher fiscal, which has made the state debt increase significantly in the last few years. In the same way, this challenge will continue to affect the financial performance of Tunisian banks, despite the recent upgrading of banking regulation and development in the Islamic finance landscape in Tunisia. Tunisia itself already has several Islamic financial institutions, including one Zitouna Bank, which obtained a license in May 2010; second, Al Baraka Bank, which was transformed from a non-resident bank to an onshore bank in January 2014; and the last one is Wifaq International Bank, which was transformed from a leasing company to an onshore bank, and which was granted a banking license in November 2015, and authorized to transform its activity to Islamic banking. There are also 6 Islamic mutual funds like Aidit Funds, Al Kauthar Funds, FCPR Max Jasmine, Thimar Investment Funds, UGFS Islamic Funds, and CEA Islamic Fund. And for the review of 2016 and 2017, in these past 2 years, Tunisia made several new banking laws. This banking law defines Islamic financial transactions of murabahah, ijarah, mudarabah, musyarakah, istisnah, salam, wadiah, and also permits all banks to conduct Islamic financial transactions with the approval of the central bank, in which this law is a new provision that introduced a number of challenges in the function and supervision of the banking sector in the context of restructuring into formal legal recognition of Islamic banking activities in Tunisia.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My name is Abdi Fathi Yusuf and my matric number is 1929763. Today we are going to discuss an image of Tunisia Islamic financial system and also the products. So let's start with the introduction. The Islamic banking landscape consists of three Islamic banks offering only Islamic products. The first one is Al Baraka and was established in 1982, and the second one is Nur Islamic Bank, also established in 2008. The third one is one and the most developed is Zaytuna Bank, was established in 2010 by the son of the deposit president. It is located retail bank to serve the domestic market. So let me see Al Baraka Bank Tunisia. Al Baraka Bank Tunisia was established.
Assalamu alaikum. This time is the evaluation of Islamic financing. I'm from Group 17. Although Islam Bank and financial institutions have made a great progress, there still have many shortcomings and problems. They need to constantly improve themselves to adapt to different environments. First, Islam Bank needed to add some new businesses and operating methods to their exciting foundations. This can play a great role in different economic fields and provide more comprehensive service for financial activities. And second, most of customer service for Islam Bank are small and medium enterprises. They don't have enough foundation to face some economic risks. Islam financial institution can provide them with help in other ways, such as some policy or fund supporting. Today, Islam Bank and institutions need a new way for development to ensure their survival. That's all. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Khalil Omar. Meeting number 1913525. So I will discuss on contemporary issues in Tunisia. So the first point is troubles and woes of Tunisian banks. The first thing that became a financial issue to Tunisia is its banks. There were several attempts to reorganize the banking sector. Based on statistics, there is high demand on market banking government. So here we can see that banks are in such poor condition that it affects Tunisians day-to-day life. This is their bank. The second point is the revolution didn't happen. Revolution here means the revolution of the Tunisian. So the Tunisian revolution detached some promising prospects. In theory, a brand new democracy, freedom, and good governance should have encouraged entrepreneurship and investment. Instead, economic process stagnated in 2011, causing unemployment to rise and increasing the requirement for external help to hide the state deficit. The third point is weighed down by multiple problems. Banks themselves remain fragile and underperforming, checkered by high levels of unproductive debt. At the same time, as they continue developing new products and services like remote account process and smartphone apps. Other problems include weak capitalization, poor quality assets, and a scarcity of adequate funds to hide the chance of default. The last point is ordinary citizens pay the price. As a result, the banks have fallen back on mortgage and loans for personal citizens. At the identical time, they are demanding increasingly high risk premiums and so also higher interest rates. Costs between their plummeting purchasing power and staggering high interest rates on bank loans, ordinary Tunisians are feeling the value. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Dafar Firadivan. My metric number is 2014559. I'm from Group 17 and now I would like to explain about laws of governing Islamic banking and finance industry of Tunisia. All Islamic banks in Tunisia are settled by traditional banking rules, except in 2013 a legislative structure adjusted on Islamic goods in there such as Islamic finance certificate, Islamic insurance, zakat, and waqf. So there are not any clear Islamic finance regulation in there. Their government should advance a necessary regulatory reform for their Islamic finance industry. Their Islamic banks and financial institutions have requested for 5 years about that. Despite that, the Tunisian laws have many similarities with our Sharia principles. Best regards.
I would like to conclude our presentation before that Tunisia has taken its economic Islamic banking agenda with Islamic finance, and the Islamic finance market ability depend of the implementation of Islamic finance regulation. The study found that Tunisia Islamic banking it's still early and the market is still limited. That's all. Thank you.